keep on trying, because all the bees and birds are flying. Gotta keep on, gotta hold on in, non-stop to the break of dawn, and keep moving, don't stop rocking, and get on up when you're down. Charlotte, get on up when you're down. Baby, do you take a good look around?
I know it's not much, but it's okay. What a tune! What a tune!
When the rainy days are dying, I listened to that in the car and I thought that's got podcast written all over it. But as you can tell, Charlotte is a little bit poorly today. She's with us under duress. and just because she's a good sport. But how are you feeling, Charlotte?
I'm really good. I've just got a little bit of a cough, as everyone probably knows through the lower league show. So I do apologise. I will try to mute myself. But how are you?
Just, you know what? If life was any grander, I'd be really grand. That's how it would be. It's not just Charlotte and I. We have the almost freshly shaven Lucas. No goatee this evening. I miss it. But how are you feeling, Mr. Lucas?
All good, mate. All good. Off on holiday next week, so I'm just counting down the days.
Is that an overseas holiday or?
Yep, I'm off to the very, very cold Canada.
I'd love to go to Canada. We're doing a bit of Canada. Me and the missus, once the kids are grown up and buggered off, that's what we can be doing. We're going to big camper van and do a couple of months out there. You know, that's the dream. What are you doing with the dog?
Oh, he stays with he's staying with the missus.
So you're going to Canada?
Oh yeah, I'm going to Canada. It's boys' trip.
I love it.
Lads' holiday.
Lads on tour.
Lads on tour in Canada.
Do you know what?
Mates.
I was going to say a lads' holiday in Canada in April is not what I expected.
It's a very mature lads' holiday. Put it that way. Yeah. I said we're going like Zante. That would be different, wouldn't it?
I was going to say, I suppose that's why the missus doesn't quite mind it. But
we're not going to have FIFA.
He's not marking it up. He's going to go like bear hunting and stuff. Not hunting, watching. And in the chat, we've got a lot of people in the chat already. We've got James. James, thank you for joining us this evening. We got to be careful how you say that one. Wakey Mank in the chat as well. Spenny fan Chris, good evening. Thank you for joining us. I hope you're doing well. Simon's in as well, and then there's Jen, Mr. Anolovit for Mr. Luke. And Samuel's there as well. He's like looking in my condiment cupboard, the amount of sauce on this. Yes, it is super saucy. And I think that's everybody. But look at that. Isn't that lovely? Spenny fans just sending the love to everybody. That is just lovely. That is just lovely. And I mean, what was lovely? Proper football being played, and I think just to help you get it up and out of the way, because I know this is a game that you'll be very excited about, Charlotte, which was Luton down 2, Bournemouth 1. How did that one make you feel? Off mute. So
that's
good
because I keep coughing. I know. I was just testing you all. But yeah, it was kind of a game of two halves, really. So in the first half, from what I've seen, Bournemouth did dominate that game. They played some really, really good football. They struck the woodwork twice as well. First, when Tavernier's free kick that hit the post, and then Cliver hit the same with an uptight low shot. And then Luton were really, really dull in that first half. Like, you know, we've all been bigging up Luton and the performances, and we've said they play some really good stuff. Well, if anybody had watched this podcast who hadn't watched Luton before, it was a total opposite that first half. It was really dull. They just didn't seem to get into the game. And sorry, my throat's really dry. After the break, though, they did look like a completely different side. So I don't know what Rob Edwards did at halftime. He must have gave him a good shouting at, because they came out and they looked like a completely different Luton. They went close as well through Morris. He scored, and there were two fine saves from the Bournemouth goalkeeper. And then, unfortunately for them, typical Luton style, though, they came out looking really good. But then Bournemouth went and scored. So Bournemouth were 1-0 up. A bit of a sucker puncher for them. Tavernier took the ball off Cliver in a central position, and then he smashed it into the corner. At that point, no, instead of Luton caving in, they took it on the chin. They did really put up a fight as well. Jordan Clark levelled. That's his first ever Premier League goal as well. So bit of a milestone for him, which was really good to see. And yeah, I thought a point could have been quite fair because, like I said, it was a game of two halves. But looking at the stats as well, Luton did have more chances. And yeah, it did go in Luton's favour. Morris went on.
No, he's doing well, isn't he?
He's doing very well. Very well. So, yeah, it was a very good win for Luton, especially against a very good Bournemouth side. And that was actually Bournemouth, apart from that game, they'd won 4 in 5 games. So that's really good for them. And I just wanted to say on the Bournemouth talk as well, something I saw today, Dominic Solanke's actually got 16 goals, and I feel like not a lot of people have been speaking about him, and he's only 3 behind Haaland, but I feel like because he's obviously playing for Bournemouth and he's not one of the superstars that everyone expects to score, it's kind of gone under the radar. So I just want to say what a good season. I know he obviously didn't score at the weekend, but I just wanted to mention that because I think that's really good from him.
He does. I mean, he is obviously 26 now, so I think he's sort of reaching his. This is his level where he's going to be those quality coffee there. And do you know what? I'm trying my best not to put on Charlotte. I try my best not to put on Charlotte too much this evening. And to try and assist us with the football talk. We have another friend to join us who's just joined us.
Morning. Morning. How are we?
All right, go.
How are we, team?
Yeah, I'm glad I've got some help.
Are they cooking you a little bit?
Yeah.
I didn't say anything, to be fair. It was all Josh.
I know.
Well,
She's poorly bad.
To be fair, I'm going to cook you a little bit, Charlotte. Right? I love you with all my heart, right? But Dominic Solanke, he might have the goals, right? But he is toilet, and let's be real.
He's not, but he's only 3 behind Haaland. I'm going to stick up for Dominic Solanke. I love one of them players who come and have a really good season as well. And I've defended Luton, haven't I, on this podcast as well? So I'm going to defend Dominic Solanke as well when I need to.
Yeah, I mean, Luton, right? I apologise to anyone who is from Luton in the chat. Lucas, where are you from, mate?
I'm not from Luton.
That's all right then. Luton is a place, I think it gets a lot of bad stick for what it is. If you actually look at the surrounding areas of Luton, like any town in any country, the town centre is dog shit, but then the surrounding areas are really nice. I live in Northamptonshire. I don't live in Northampton. Northampton is terrible. The village where I live is absolutely fantastic because of course I'm going to say that because I live there. But Luton, around it, it's nice, but inside awful. Kenilworth Road is the worst ground I've ever been to. It is absolutely honking, and for that reason, I literally discredit Luton. But they have surprised us a lot this season, haven't they? They've given everyone something to think about. They've not been dusted by teams at all, really, this season. They've only lost again, I think, against the big boys. They've only lost by more than 1 goal on 2 occasions. Everyone else, they've been within a goal or even taken a point. And do you know what? Hats off there, So, but I want them to stay up because I really love. I love the gaffer. I mean, I'm a straight man, but Christ, he is handsome. Well, you're a straight man, Charlotte. Oh yeah.
I love him. I feel like you've come here with violence towards me. I feel like me and you are going to fall out.
No. Cruel to be kind. That's what it is. And big shout to Sean, who's in Rushden. I'm in Sidewell, mate, so it's not too far at all.
Look, we already get
Northampton gang. Let's go.
Mr. Loop is loving your energy, Gav. Loving it already. And getting some welcomes from Spenny fan Chris as well. And Simon Todd, doesn't like Kenilworth Road either. He is not a fan.
Well, Josh, basically, I've been there a couple of times through refereeing, and when I was also doing some media work, like like when you're on Bet365 and stuff, bet responsible, everybody. But like like when you're on the betting sites and you see like it going across like dangerous attack, corner, all that sort of stuff. I used to do that at Premier League grounds and Championship grounds, and I went to Luton for a League Cup game. And it was the first time I'd gone in through that entrance, and I was like, "Am I even going the right way?" Do you remember? Is it Keeping Up Appearances with Onslow? Was it that? It was that one, wasn't it? I know. I still get ID'd every now and then, but I am quite old. But like, so where I got my ticket from, I had to walk down an alleyway where there was rats, there was a mattress, and some like bin bags and that. And then they were like, I was like, oh, where do I go for the media ticket? They were like, oh, you go around here. And they were like, oh, when you see that, it's just there.
Second mattress on the left. And then once you pass the second pile of bin bags, that's the entrance.
Gosh, I'm not lying. I did. That's what you had to do. And then like the hut was like, it was like Onslow's caravan on the front. It looked like they won it on Bullseye in 1978, and they still using it as the ticket office. It's bad, man. Honestly, I hope they get their funding so they get their new nice ground.
So Gav's not a fan of Luton's go, but I think
I'm not.
While we're on the relegation battle, a game that did tickle me. I mean, Lucas, the other game in the relegation zone, Sheffield United 2, Chelsea 2. I mean, Chelsea, they're just clutching defeat from the jaws of victory. How did that game make you feel?
It's so bad. I regret not putting money on that game because I literally all week I've been saying it would be Chelsea to go and beat Man United like that and then go and draw with Sheffield. Back-to-back draws against Burnley and Sheffield is crazy for Chelsea. So, but it's the same thing. They can't break down low blocks. But even in saying that, Sheffield cooked them in that second half. They should have won that game. Yeah. So yeah, they're embarrassing. If I was a Chelsea fan, I mean, if you talk to Chelsea fans now, it's funny because they were such a high and mighty football fan base. All the Chelsea fans I knew, they weren't like, you say like not real football fans is a bit harsh, but they're like, oh, Chelsea are playing this weekend. Oh yeah, I'm doing something. They're not like United, Liverpool, Arsenal, when it's like football is just always football. Chelsea fans have always got like a casual element, but now they're just stressing, all of them. I love it. I can't stand Chelsea, so happy to see it. So long may it continue. Yeah, I just hope they sneak into. I want them to get into the Conference League, and that's probably. I don't want them to finish 8th, finish 7th. Get Conference League, Thursday football, and do that.
15th. That's what I'm all.
Well, relegation's not a thing now.
I don't want them to finish outside of Europe because then that is a great opportunity for them to just play a game a week. A bit like what Tottenham are doing this season. I don't want to see that. I want to see them suffer.
Yeah. Nice Thursday night.
If they keep Poch, though, that's fine because
even better.
This is their limit. But I love the fact that he's saying, a player's tired. Poch, no, maybe they're too young to get used to playing these. What amount of games are they playing that young players can't? I get if they were like a team full of 40-year-olds. If they were a team full of me's, I'd get that. Struggling to play a professional game of football like once a week, twice a week. But they're all like average age of 22, something like that. It's one of the youngest average age squads in the Premier League. Most expensive, tremendous. Surely I'm not the only one enjoying this.
They're not even all that good.
I think actually saw a stat as well saying that they've only had back-to-back wins twice this season.
I think they've only had back-to-back wins twice in the last 2 or 3 seasons, haven't they?
They're all over the place.
Yeah,
it is. Relegation is not far off. They keep Poch and it doesn't get any better. Like they're not going to be able to spend as much as they did this summer. So, problem with Chelsea is they can always sell players. They're always very good at selling players and making money that way. So I think they'll find a way.
They've got a fantastic business model.
Saudi Arabia.
No, not even that. It's a case of is doing exactly the same as what City have done over the years, and they just literally just keep farming these kids and sell them off to whoever. They'll either sell them to Germany or sell them into the Championship.
Eredivisie.
Championship teams are buying Premier League academy cast-offs for anywhere between £5 and £25 million. You know, so like if you've got like, you know, 6 kids that are knocking around in the under 19s, look at James Trafford. How much did he go for? That was 25 million, wasn't it?
I've got no idea. It was
crazy.
good money.
It was something. It was like between 20 and 25. I'm pretty sure. James Trafford. What did he do? You know, like Oscar Bob is there right now. He probably won't hang around any longer. He'll probably go to somewhere for 20 million. So they keep doing that. And also, what City do, they will pay big wages, but they don't always pay like over the odds for players. They buy lots of players for £50 million rather than buying, 3 or 4 £100 million players. Obviously, Grealish was 100 mil. We know that. But everyone else is like between 30 and 50 million. They just do that more regularly. Whereas Chelsea are like, do you know what? Screw it. You have 85, you have 100, you have 120. Fuck it. Yeah.
I think I found in euros, he was 17.5 million euros. So that's probably about
James
James Trafford.
Yeah, I know over the course of his career.
I'm sure there's add-ons.
Yeah, that's the base.
Who
But over his career, Burnley have got in, yeah. And then over his career, though, he went on loan to Bolton for 2.5 million.
There you go.
I think
that's Haaland's wages for a couple of months.
Yeah,
a month.
So they keep doing that. They got a massive academy, and then that's just going to fund their transfers. They'll fund a striker. They're not far off fixing it. This is the problem with Chelsea. Like they're really not that far. There are some good players in there.
Lucas, I was talking to my mate about this. Earlier on today. Let's discredit for a moment. I'm not saying that they're bad. I just want to take away from the equation Drogba and Diego Costa. Then over the last 20 years, name a striker that has gone to Chelsea and succeeded. There isn't one.
It's true.
Yeah, there isn't, is there?
Not a single one.
Those are the only 2.
Yeah.
It's weird, that, isn't it?
Crespo did well for like 5 games.
Yeah. Shevchenko, Mutu, Kezman,
Rain,
Torres. Because people try and discredit Torres. Saying like
Torres is the only one people make an argument, but it's based off one moment.
Yeah.
No, really use that.
Everyone cooks Torres. And it's like, oh, is this, is that. And then people will say, oh, well, he weren't that good in the first half of the season before he moved. Are you mad? I swear he was second top goal scorer in the January with like something like 12 or 13 goals in the Premier League at that point.
Yeah,
he was
good up until he left Liverpool. Until he took off that Liverpool shirt, he was insane.
He did what a striker does at Chelsea, puts it on, turns to shit. Look at Havertz right now. Havertz is loving life at the moment. He's so happy. He's scoring for club and country, and like he got cooked at Chelsea. But I will always advocate for him anyway. 1, because I'm a closet German, and 2, because I've been like one of my best pals who I did my Bundesliga podcast with, massive Leverkusen fan, so I'm affiliated to them by proxy. And I've watched him come through the academy, and like the guy's a machine.
Lucas loves Havertz. He was chuffed a bit when he went to Arsenal.
I was absolutely fuming when we signed him, but he's playing well.
I defended him.
I defended
him from the beginning.
With Odegaard, like I'm not afraid to change my mind on players. Most people just stick to their guts and go, "Oh yeah." It's like if a player comes in and I don't rate him, if he plays well, I will say, "Yeah, you know what, I rate you." And if Havertz continues this form to the end of the season, if he helps us win the trophy, then it turns out Arteta was right and it was a great signing for 65 million.
Yeah.
I still don't know whether he's a striker, but he's playing so well in that.
He's a forward. There. That's what his job is. He was
a second striker, wasn't he, at Leverkusen, which we don't really have. We don't really have that in the Premier League, but if we can mold it to make it work and it carries us to the trophy, then there you go.
Yeah, we'll touch on your title chances in a moment. I mean, we've got one more game I wanted to sort of brush over in the relegation zone. Everton winning a game of football. Yeah, Burnley obviously not. Burnley don't do winning football games. They gave that up, I think, at the start of the season. But Dominic Calvert-Lewin, if you caught us the other week, I think he changed his tight shorts for looser fitting shorts, and he got the goal. I mean, Gav, did you catch that game? And if you did, how did it make you feel?
I didn't watch a great deal of it, I'll be honest with you. It wasn't really my cup of tea.
Anyone who would spend their weekend watching that one,
if I'm honest.
Burnley.
We used to have a section on my old podcast, like the one before this, 2 up top, called "What Are Everton?" Do you know what? I'll find the thing. I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you, Josh.
The podcast dedicated.
Let me see if I can find it.
I get enough abuse off Everton fans as it is on the daily.
Recent Everton. I did like them when Moyes was their manager.
Yeah,
Back
same.
in the 2000s. I thought they were quite likable.
I quite liked.
Everyone's just bored of them.
Who was the Australian?
Tim Cahill.
Yeah,
I used to love him and Landon Donovan.
Stephen
Donovan
Pienaar,
as well.
like Fellaini.
Yes! Leighton Baines.
Who was the centre back as well? What was the centre back?
Lescott?
Sylvain Distin.
Distin,
Sylvain
yes!
Distin and Jagielka was a proper Premier League duo.
Tim
there.
Howard in net as well.
Tim Howard in net. Yeah, they had like they had iconic Premier League players in that team.
We did.
Now they're laughable.
I mean, Shah, what did you make of that game?
Well, I did. I'm full of stats today. I saw a stat. Apparently, it was the first 3 points in 112 days for Everton.
Oof.
What?
So, so you've got that to start with.
And they chin two of them off straight away.
I know. How tight. But do you know what? I don't know if any of you saw Sean Dyche's interview after the game, but it pretty much summed it up and said it was an ugly game, which it was. It was just so dull. Did any of you see the goal as well? It was obviously from the goalkeeper's howler.
Yeah.
And then Calvert-Lewin obviously took advantage of that. But yeah, it wasn't a thriller at all.
Do you know what I'll call it? I'll call it the Plankton Derby. You know, just absolute bottom feeders. You know, right at the bottom of the food chain. No one cared. The goal is a testament to the clubs. Pair of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's just it's not a good advert for the Premier League. These kind of games, I can't lie. Like it's just you're gonna have teams who are. No one's asking for United, Liverpool for every single game, but some of the teams, the performances they put out, it's not Premier League level. It's crazy how bad some of these teams are at the moment. And Everton, like Burnley, you can forgive because they just came up, but Everton have been here how long now?
Since the dawn of time, Lucas.
Constantly, yeah. They've never been relegated, right?
I think Moses was still part in the Red Sea when Everton were last in the second tier.
They're not going down again this season. Even with the point deduction, they're just not going down. It's just not going to happen.
Why won't you die?
Why won't you die? Yeah.
The sending off as well. Did any of you see the sending off? It was just stupid.
I missed that.
It was sending off, and it just I think it was on what's he called? Dwight. What's his name? Dwight McNeil. Yeah, that's the one. Dwight McNeil, and it was just a goal scoring opportunity. The Burnley player just came and just took him out, which I thought was stupid. He didn't really have to do that.
I do like to see it. But,
I will say, though, from what I have seen online and from what I did see, Jared Bramthwaite, what a player. He played really, really well.
He's good.
He's very, very good. So I will give him credit. As much as it was a really dull game, I will give him credit.
He is quality. But this thing as well, they've got a great academy, so they have get out of jail cards. Because Bramthwaite is like that's 60 million Chelsea or United written all over it. Maybe
I would hope United. I think
United makes the most sense.
Chelsea have got too many. They've got too many players, and they don't know what to do with them. Yeah. Whereas United, they've had all their injuries and things like that as well. But I believe that, that's the thing. I think he could go to Man United and actually make an instant impact and strengthen. I think he should be on the plane as well.
I'm with you there. Yeah, they got him. They got a few. I can't remember who's the other one. Well, actually, now Calvert-Lewin's kind of that ship has sailed. Oh, Onana. They could get some money for Onana as well.
Yeah,
I'll have him. Yeah, he could be a Partey replacement. him or Cobby, I don't mind. I don't know.
A lot of Arsenal fans do like him. I think he's a bit Inter just equalised. Yeah, I'm not sure on him.
He's a quality player who is playing for a lesser club that needs to step up to the big table.
He
And
needs
I
more
think
quality around him.
he's doing what, like, if we were to go and make that sort of signing, for me, it's a little bit like what Man United used to do historically, what City did for
Best
a little
player
bit.
of the worst teams, yeah.
Yeah, what Liverpool, like, they made a bit of a career out of doing that, you know, just getting the best player out of the worst teams, because they are head and shoulders above everyone else. Stop buying players from the same tier level as you, because there's
Who
no
are on the bench.
incentive for them to
Yeah.
do anything, in my opinion, anyway.
I mean, and we will spend sort of 5 minutes on. I mean, with the Mr. Arsenal podcast in the chat saying Everton in serious trouble after today's news. When you see they're running, it doesn't look very good. And Mr. Luke mentioned the points deduction as well, that it's a bit of a mess. I mean, we'll come on. I mean, I'll start with you, Lucas. I mean, this,
Yeah.
I do think it's arse about face, the way that they've gone about it, wanting 5, and then, but what we've done, we'll deduct 1 because, you know, they admitted to it. Then we'll deduct another 1 because, you know, we've already given them some, and then we'll deduct. What the hell's going on there?
At some point, you might as well just not do it. Yeah, it's a bit. It's just definitely new ground for the Premier League. That's all, and they're just trying to get some form of, I don't know, consistency, or like, it's none of it really makes sense. But they got to start somewhere, right? They got to start somewhere and then set a precedent and say, this is what it is. It's 4 points or it's 2 points. It's 4 points for the first defense, 2 points for the second. That's basically what it is now. That's what they've done, basically. But then Forest got, how many did Forest got? They only got like 2, right? Or did Forest get 4 as well?
Got 4? I think they got 4.
Yeah,
personally.
I think.
Yeah, so if it's 4 for your first defense, 2 for your second, if it's in the same season, then just stick
Apart
with
from
it.
Everton's was like 10 in their first.
Yeah,
their
and then
first
brought back
defense,
down, yeah.
even though you only get 9 for going into administration.
Yeah, it's mad. I don't mind it with the deductions as long as it's consistent. Same thing. I view it the same way I see with the referee, and I don't mind tough decisions or easy decisions as long as it's consistent.
Within a game. You can only be consistent within a game. You can't be consistent week by week as a referee.
What do you mean?
I came up with a fantastic analogy earlier on today. It might take a minute because I had it in my head. I didn't actually vocalize it. So here's the situation. Do we all drive?
No.
No? Okay. Okay. Well, we'll use public transport. We'll use a mode of transport. Okay.
I'll drive a bike. Ride a bike.
Okay. Well, perfect. Right. Imagine, right. So you do the same route every single day, Lucas, on your bike. The same route every single day. But on one day, there's no cars there. On another day, a car might turn left to try and take you out. On another day, you might turn right instead. You know, so how is that consistent?
We still get to your destination, though.
But you are still riding your bike, and you are still going the same distance at the same time, but the atmosphere and everything changes around you.
Yeah,
so you adapt. You adapt. So, like, from as a referee's point of view, like, for instance, I allow a physical game, but another one of my pals is a referee. He don't like that. So it's unfair on the players because they're like, oh, well, you know, like ref last week, he let me do this or let me do that. It's like, well, and also when the temperature rises in the game, you then have to change your game. So, like, although, you know, like when people are moaning and going, oh, in the back ref, like, which is one of my biggest pet peeves ever. Like, I don't give those. But just say if the game has risen, we've just had a red card, or like some tackles are flying in, I'm giving every single decision. Every single one. So those little nudges in the back, I'm giving it until the game gets like more simmered down and gets back to normal. Then that I'm not consistent then. I'm completely inconsistent because I didn't give that in the first minute, but I'm giving it in the 73rd. But then you have to notice what is going on around you to know whether it is the right decision or the wrong decision to give those or allow those sort of things to happen.
Yeah.
So the consistency thing, you will never get consistency.
It's a systemic issue. It shouldn't be on the referees to have to do that because I say it all the time. Like, I'm not a massive rugby fan, but I've been to rugby games, and when I watch rugby in the World Cup, like, if anyone here watched the Rugby World Cup, the standard of refereeing was elite throughout the entire tournament. And when you watch rugby players and they get decisions, they walk off straight away.
That's a respect thing. Yeah, that's a respect thing.
It's pure respect, and it's just the game. That's the game. And football is just. I honestly, like, I would have, like, anyone, you know, when someone, like the other day when it was Newcastle, someone gets a what was it, the goal disallowed, Newcastle Fulham. So he checked on VAR, He was like, yeah, VAR's checked it. It was a foul on Calvin Bassey from Dan Burn, which it was. It was like MMA elbow to the back of the neck. And then after that, it's gone. So it's like, well, he's made the decision. Go on. Dan Burn is there shouting at the referee in his ear for about 2 minutes straight after the game. And I'm like, what they need to do now is, well, the decision's been made. Yellow card. Why are you coming over to me?
Well, they've tried to do that over the years. And then,
this season,
and then all the managers got together. This is probably about 2005. This is before I started refereeing. And then all the managers ended up getting together and be like, "No, this is stupid now because like all our players are getting booked every single week, and it's not a great spectacle." So all the group like went to the PGMOL, and all they were like, "Oh yeah, fair enough, yeah." And then they eased it off. Anytime there's a new directive, it happens. I remember the beginning of the 16-17 season, all those nudges and all those shirt pulls and that sort of stuff in the box. In the first 5 or 6 weeks of the Premier League season, there was penalties galore. We don't see it anymore. It stopped after about 5 or 6 weeks because too many penalties were being given away.
Yeah.
Oh, where's the physicality? Where's this? You can't have your cake and eat it, you know. Yeah, and as a referee, all we can do is abide by the laws of the game. But how I interpret the laws of the game might be different to the way that Charlotte does it or the way that Josh does it. Do you see what I mean? You know, like
Charlotte will be right mind. However she interprets, that's how it should be. Just
what Charlotte says goes.
I feel like you're all picking on me tonight.
I wasn't picking on you then. I was picking on you before, but not this time.
I just had your back there. I was trying to give you love.
Not set up to help. It's just too. Yeah, it's not the best.
I mean that does do my head.
Don't bring sin bins. Sin bins are not. Don't bring
sin bins. I hate sin bins. I mean, I annoyingly
it works for
sin bin someone for the first time 2 weeks ago. Yeah, two Tuesdays ago, I sin bin someone for the first time, and I was so annoyed with myself because there's other things that you can give, and like I didn't really like the way he was talking to me, and I gave him a yellow card, and I was like, straight away. He was like, "That's 10 minutes." I was like, "Yeah, 10 minutes." because I don't agree with it. It's something I completely disagree with sin binning. No, it's not for me at all.
Too active. You can't have, because the whole concept of substitutions is to freshen things up instantly. In other sport, NBA, NFL, rugby, it's played in a certain way. One team can have the ball for 20 minutes in rugby, going back and forth. In football, you're basically just giving someone a 10-minute refresher, get some more instructions from the manager, and come on fresh. It's like a new sub ultimately. So I think it actually benefits that team. Obviously, they're missing a player for a little bit, but when they come back, I think they're going to be in a better situation than when he went off.
Yeah.
Mr. Luke's asking the chat, what level you referee at, if you don't mind him asking.
Yeah, so I've literally just come back after 7 years out. I've only been back since October, so I'm back at senior county level, which is like step 7. But I just need to do 2 more assistant referee lines between now and the end of the season. I'll be back at level 4, which is refereeing at step 5 and an assistant at step 4 and step 3. So step 4 and step 3 is like Northern Prem, Southern Prem, Ryman League, and then refereeing at Supply League. So yeah, I'll be back there in August.
I mean, there'll be a refereeing decision which we will pick up on in a minute, but we'll head to the other side, the flip side of the table, and I think we'll let you have a little bit. I tell you, a refereeing decision. Ben White, I think, needs to see a priest because he was obviously a victim of some sort of poltergeist attack during the game. I mean, I Gav, from your refereeing hat, I mean, are you having a word with Ben White? Are you sending him off? Because nothing happened.
Not doing anything. In that situation, I literally look at it and laugh. Like embarrass, like I just embarrass the players if you're going to do that. You know, just like what are you doing, mate? My assistant saw it. My 4th man's there. What are you doing? I'll go over. Do you need treatment? Do you need treatment? No. All right, get out then. Right,
do you want your mum? Do you want me to be
your mum? That's what I mean. Those situations, that's what you do. Like you don't.
You need Sam Allardyce, don't you, standing laughing at him?
I think the characters. There is a bit of character coming back to refereeing again now. I think that has got a massive contributing factor of that is the changes within the Football Association and the PGMOL PGMOL from a top end perspective. You know, like it's not everyone looks the same, everyone dresses the same. Yes sir, no sir, 3 bags full sir. It's a little bit different now, and I feel like with that you can showcase a bit more character within your game. I saw someone mention something about common sense. Can't apply common sense within reason because it's something that you could apply at a park level, but you can't apply it further up when there's money involved. But like referees, we call it law 18, common sense. Like we want to be able to do it, but in that situation there, the Ben White thing, it's not violent conduct. It's not a foul. It's not a dive. It's like you're obviously trying to get him sent off. Just laugh him off.
That's my only issue is trying to get someone else sent off. I don't like that.
But there was contact, Josh. He's contacted him. So therefore, technically, you know, by doing that, is it a red card? You know, red card when we start play from where the ball was because the ball's already out of play at the time, wasn't it? I think. But is that worthy of a red card? Do you really want to be getting a rod for your own back by giving a red card for an incident like that? I don't want to. I don't want to be giving cards out for that sort of situation. You just have a word of them, or you take the piss out of them. Either or.
I mean, but Lucas, the result 3-0, top of the table on goal difference. How are you feeling? How does that make you feel?
We're getting there. Yeah, you're not going to get more out of me like last year. At this point, it's not happening. I told you. 1 game to go, 3 points clear, and then I will start celebrating because that. Yeah, but no, Brian. I thought was one of the tough, like not the toughest of the games we've got, but not an easy one. Not like I look at Bournemouth at home and I look at Everton at home, and I'm like, that's 6 points. Wolves and Brighton away were the two, depending on how they play, could cause us some issues. Brighton looked good going forward, but they can't defend. And it's weird because it's been the other way around for weeks for them. They've looked good defensively, but not going forward. But in that game, the way they beat the press is quality. Like, De Zerbi's got them playing some good football. They're one of the best press-resistant teams. They just haven't got the quality. But everything they do is perfect, and it is really good to watch. But they just haven't got the right amount of players. And 3-0 it wasn't a 3-0 game as well, but we're cooking at the moment.
You don't think it was a 3-0 game?
Even the third goal, I don't know what they were doing with the third one.
Like I'm just looking from the first half. Should have been like Gabriel gets those on target every time. Those ones like that. 1-0 first minute.
Oh, that guy, Jesus.
You know, centre half Gabriel, like the header.
Oh, the header right at the beginning.
First, yeah. You know, look at those. Look at Jesus.
Actually,
I wouldn't be surprised if I wouldn't be upset if didn't see Jesus start or feature in another game between now and the end of the season. Zinni has been choice as well, you know. But like, yeah, he missed a couple of opportunities. Saka, when he opened his body, like Ben, like when you get a player like that cutting on and into their good foot, bend their body, bend the shot, goes past. I was thinking at that point, today's not our day.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It looked like that. And then the first goal goes in, and then that was it.
It was party time, yeah.
Yeah,
Let's go get my charger in 1 sec.
Party time.
We just got to keep that going. But like I said, the only issue is like we are the best team in the league. Like if you look across the course of a season in terms of who's playing the best, I mean, we've conceded 5 goals in 2024 in all competitions. That's a crazy stat. And we scored 38 games in Premier League games in 2024, which is 11 games we've played. So scoring a lot of goals, we're not conceding anything. These are all the attributes of the team that should go on and win the league. But it was the same thing last season. I think they've learned from last season with the defense, and he's prioritized the defense at the beginning, and it's doing really well. The goals were hit and miss at times, but there's some consistency in 2024 for sure. The team has just got to see it to the end. It's over to us now. And I'll tell you right now, Man City, Liverpool will come on to it in a bit because I think you are going to drop points a bit. But Man City, I'm looking at their games. I'm like, Man City, we need to be prepared for Man City to win those remaining 7 games.
They shouldn't lose any, should they?
In a title race, Pep Guardiola and that team are not going to drop points at Fulham and West Ham and Luton. Like, it's not going to happen. So we have to do what we have to do. Problem is, we are playing of the 7 games, I think outside of Bournemouth, every single one of those teams has something to fight for, / a rivalry with us. We got to go. We got to play Chelsea,
United twice, haven't you?
Spurs away, United away, Villa this weekend, who are all over the place. But again, that could be, you never know. Those kind of games, you never know.
Sometimes good, sometimes shit.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what's going on with Villa. That's what I said. They've conceded. Only Sheffield have conceded more chances than them in the last like 6-7 games. They're just, their midfield is non-existent when it comes to from attack to defense. So fixtures are tough, but we have to just see it over. That's what winning teams do. Whoever lifts the Premier League trophy at the end of the season deserves to lift it. That's how it works in the league. It's not a tournament.
I mean,
over 38 games, you were the most consistent. So, you know, you get one off with like Bayern and Dortmund last year. But even then, you can make a case that Bayern still across the season, Dortmund were a bit iffy.
I'll tell you what,
in the Premier League,
I'm still angry with Mainz. Mainz should have just rolled over on that last day of the season. I know professionalism should step in place,
the league for that.
But Mainz hate Bayern. They hate like they absolutely hate. They're near Bavaria. They hate Bayern. They hate Augsburg, and they allowed Bayern to win that title.
Yeah. Right. So we look. It's the same situation as last season. Just win all your remaining games. The league is yours. That's it. I mean, will we? There you go.
Well, you mentioned the Liverpool game. I mean, Liverpool United 2-2. I mean, in regards to the game, it's just annoying. Annoyed the bollocks off me.
Lack of clinical finishing.
It's so frustrating because let's be fair. If you look at percentages, 60-70% of the game until we absolutely smashed the back doors out of them. And it was criminal. It was just
8 shots in like the first 15 minutes, of which I think like 6 of them were on target.
Yeah, and that's the issue that we're just not putting teams away. And there's that one goal, and I'm nervous unless you were 3 goals clear. So that was quite agitating. But I mean, Gav, while you're on, I've voiced my views all over Twitter while I was at the doctor's surgery this morning with nothing else to do. So I thought I'll just rile people up on that one. But I'll ask you, but in the chat we've got a Spenny fan saying Bruno's goal was crazy. They'll keep you so out of his box.
Yeah,
style of play, unfortunately. It's going to happen, those things are. And incidentally, Kwanzaa, I'm not sure if you've seen, he's had to turn off his Instagram comments because of all the racist abuse that he was receiving. I mean, in true absolute football fashion, hashtag don't be a dick. There's no need for it. Just don't be a dick. Get a life. As we've said before, you can give somebody grief for being shit. If somebody's bad in a game, you can say that they're bad. That's okay.
It comes with the game. It's sports.
Criticism,
ethnicity, gender. That's the complete irrelevance. That's a complete irrelevance. Let's just keep it grown up and mature and civilized. But I don't think it's that contentious. The contentious penalty decision, Gav. Penalty or not penalty from your refereeing eyes?
I've seen it from about 55,000 different angles. I've seen it slowed down, sped up. I don't understand what the argument is. It's a penalty. I don't want it to be. I want Man United to win out that game. I don't want Liverpool to win the game. But I'm trying to work out. I'm trying to understand why people are saying it is not a penalty. I genuinely don't understand what your reasoning is. People are obviously dive. Well, whatever. His left leg hasn't made any contact, but then I don't know, it looks like a little jink of something. I don't know if he's tripped himself up, sort of thing. But Elliott's right leg gets caught under the flailing tackle leg of Wan-Bissaka. That is a foul. That happens anywhere on the pitch with any players. That happens on the halfway line. If it happens in the box the other way around, we're given a defensive free kick. And we're like, free kick. So I don't understand why people are losing their minds over it. I don't get it. Well, if anything, because people are going, oh, it's corruption. That's why. Man United fans, Man United fans are saying that's corruption. They like to use that one. Man United fans have been very silent over the way that Casemiro flew in about 150 mile an hour off the ground. Everyone's like, but he won the ball. I don't give a shit whether you won the ball or not.
Yeah, that was
crazy.
He has
come off the ground. He has come from out of space into that tackle. And honestly, anywhere else, He clips him. That's a broken leg. That is dangerous. It's excessive force, in my opinion. That for me is, I don't care if you won the ball or not. That is a red card. But like Man United fans are very quiet about that. I've not seen one Man United fan talk about that at all. And this is what does my head in. I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm a proud Arsenal fan. But I'll tell you what, I'll take my club affiliation hat off, unless I'm talking about Palermo, of course. And I will literally look at the game for what it is. I mean, like when I go down to watch the Arsenal, and everyone's going, "Oh, fucking hell, ref, that's a foul." And I'm standing there going, "To be fair, ref, you got that right, you know, that's a foul." Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I'm not
bet they love having you there.
Yeah.
People can't see over their biases with football.
They can't.
You
It's so
have to be a
difficult.
football fan first, and then a supporter of your club second.
100%. Yeah, because like life's short, man. You know, it's not that deep. Some of the things that happen, you know. But like, for me, I don't understand what the argument was, or whether that was a penalty or not. It's pretty obvious. You watch it in real time, it's a pen. You watch it again in slow mo. You watch it from a different angle. Someone explain to me why that is not a pen. Don't just say it's because it's not. I want to hear a genuine reason as to why that is not a pen, and then we can have a conversation about it.
My best comment I saw was, "Oh, he won the ball," but he didn't win the ball.
He didn't win the ball.
Elliot knocked the ball with his left. I think what Elliot did play, from my perception as a Liverpool fan and as a sort of semi-partial Liverpool fan, is it looked like he played the ball to the left. But I think when Wan-Bissaka was coming in, it's hard work. If he tries to go around him, that's hard work, and he risks being caught anyway. So I think he does keep the run going and gets caught out, and there's him get wiped out. But he shouldn't be making that foul. It was a tackle. It was a late mistimed tackle.
Why is he flying in like that? What? An 81st minute, you're 2-1 up. There's other red shirts around. Why are you flying into? Why are you giving the referee a decision to make?
Well, it is
lack of concentration.
I think it is, man. I mean, and their heads are gone. I think they knew. I think Liverpool were pressure on a bit, and when Liverpool are pressure on, that is intense because it is a hard, high, fast. There's always a breakout. So I can see why he lost his head, and if anybody doesn't like it, I can't. I mean, Simon said people say it's not a penalty. They just like arguing. But I mean, before we sort of wrap up on the Premier League, Spending fan Chris wants to know how much will the Champions League, the FA Cup, and the FA Cup for City affect the title race? I mean, Shah, do you want to give it 2 minutes on that? I'm trying to be kind because. No, Charlotte doesn't care. She doesn't care at all.
I don't care about City. I'm sorry. I'm sick of them. I'm sick of them. So someone else, please do it. I live near them as well. My uncle's a City fan, and all I hear is City, City, City. So no, thank you.
So who do you want to win the title then?
City.
Yes, she wants Arsenal.
Does she? Oh wait, I knew I had time for you from before. I knew I had time for you always.
We're all.
Well, City won the treble last year, so. That answers the question, no?
Exactly that.
They know how to win on 3-4 like competitions going. Like it's not going to affect them at all. Phil Foden scored a hat trick and then started on the bench and was on the bench for the next game. Man City do this. This is what they do. Imagine if we bench Saka going in any of these games. Like Saka scores 2 goals and then he's benched next game. That's where we would need to be. But
there'll be a civil war in the streets of N5.
I mean, I think the only thing I think for me that would catch City out is a little bit of people have found Pep out a bit, as in they know how to play against him. Implementing it is a different story. But I think that they because people know, I think they've got. I'm looking here. I think they've got Brighton. They've got Spurs at some point. Brighton.
Spurs is the only one.
Yeah. Chelsea.
That's FA Cup though, isn't it? Yeah, but then I mean Chelsea are drawn with them twice, but no.
The only thing I could think is if somebody plays well enough against them to stifle them, or if someone gives them a pump in one game and in the Champions League or something and they struggle potentially. But
then it would just be the back because he's not going to lose back to back, and it's like
and there's also those anomaly games. Remember last season where City literally battered and bruised Nottingham Forest for 86 minutes. They must have had about 70,000 shots on goal, and like Haaland could hit a Ballon d'Or that day. And then Chris Wood, 86th minute, pops up, was like, cheers for the point, mate. I'm taking my ball with me now. Well. Yeah, exactly. And like these sort of things happen. Football is a crazy game in that respect. Some of the craziest stuff that we see happen, the stuff that we genuinely expect, just doesn't go the way it's meant to. You know, like
it's unpredictable for sure. It's the Man City of. They haven't had that run this season, so is now the time for that run. Or are they just not that team anymore? They struggle with low blocks, but the problem is Palace tried it, and then what happened was De Bruyne decided he wants to start just shooting from everywhere, and they've got him Foden back,
spamming shots.
It's like I think Jack Grealish is so underrated. It's crazy. I think the price tag is ruining him. I've been arguing with people about last year in the Champions League and saying how crucial he was in that semi-final and final in the Champions League.
It's because he's playing differently. People don't appreciate it because he's done
the GA. He doesn't have the GA. That's all it comes down to. If he was scoring goals and assisting like Foden, there'd be no conversation. But outside of that, they play so much better with him in the side going forward. And I think he is going to be crucial for this run-in. But yeah, you look at those things, and I'm just like Fulham have got nothing to play for now. They're not gonna just go and sweat it out for 90 minutes just to stop City for what? Like, they're not going to get relegated. They're not going to get into Europe. The rest of the teams, like even the ones that are relegation, I mean, it's all about matchups as well. Like Luton, Forest, is way too open. Yeah, like way too open. Spurs is the only one, but again, this is not the Spurs from before who are going to sit back. Ange Ball, he's staying at the halfway line. So regardless of what happens, he's not changing. Yeah, Ange Ball is not adapting. So I don't think that's going to be enough to stop them. I think Ange Ball is a problem for us because that crowd is going to be. It's going to be hell on earth.
Raucous.
Rock up there, yeah.
I mean, well, Chris is asking as well. Do you think the Champions League or the number of games outside of the Premier League is going to affect Arsenal?
No, I don't think it will, because I think like at the moment, you know, we've got this. It's as strong as our squad has been. Like the only person missing really is Jurrien Timber, who played a game and a half. Everyone else is fit. We're so like in terms like even Partey's back. Tomiyasu's back. Kivior's fit. You know what I mean? Like, I think
it's the front, though, isn't it? It's injuries to the front.
It's injuries to the front, and if we have any injuries at the back, I think even though
any of the backs, really,
well, it's just Saliba, really. Yeah, if Saliba gets injured, then we're fucked. We might as well just go home. Like the same thing happened last year. As soon as he got injured, that was it. We weren't able to adapt really. But like,
I think either of them, though, Gabriel's been quality, but I think that partnership is where is like Tomiyasu can up here or there, but not if he 7 games in a row asking Tomiyasu to suddenly step in next to Saliba. That's not going to work. Neither is it with Kivior, neither is it with Ben White.
Yeah, see, I reckon that it could work. Just say if Gabriel was to go down, I could see Tomiyasu going into that position or Ben White, and then Ben White or Tomiyasu on at right back. I could see that happening. If Saliba goes, then we're done. I actually don't rate Gabriel at all. I think he looks good because he's alongside Saliba. It's the same with Christian Romero. You know, at Spurs, Christian Romero. I don't rate him as a defender, but he looks fantastic because he's got Van der Ven next to him.
Van der Ven is the one, yeah.
Yeah, he was born. It was great. He was great at Wolfsburg last year as well. Like, I'm a big fan of him.
It happens.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he's been good this year. He's just so rash. He needs to cut that out. He's just too rash, and whenever he follows. Like when he follows strikers into midfield, he just does the same thing every single time. And I'm like, if you do that against Harry Kane tomorrow, we are in serious trouble. If you decide you want to follow Kane into the halfway line and kick him, because Musiala and Sane are going to be gone. But yeah, tomorrow's good. That's another thing altogether. But yeah, we don't know. I mean, yeah. To answer the question, we dealt with it okay in Porto when we played them, even though we weren't great in the Porto games. But the Premier League games outside of it, we were fine. Bayern's a different animal. Like that's gonna take the wind out of us.
It's a good time to play Bayern, mate. It's a good time.
No, it's never.
Everyone says this. Yeah, I'm with Gav. Everyone, it's a trap. They're making us fall for a trap here.
Tuchel has pedigree in cup competitions and in knockout competition. So like I am. He's blown the league. He knows it's done. Like, Leverkusen only need a point technically to win the title. Bayern lost their first ever game to like a newly promoted team in Heidenheim. Like you shouldn't be losing those
our
sort of games.
European coverage too much, man.
No,
They've given up on the league. It's like they're not there for the league. You're going to see Liverpool Bayern tomorrow.
This is they're going to be all out. I wouldn't be surprised if they
2 years ago. He only won it 2 years ago.
2020, weren't it?
Yeah, and that Chelsea side was significantly worse. Let's be real. So it's like anyone is saying Bayern based on the league form, you can't take that into account because our team is much better on paper, but they have some individuals who are out of this world.
See, I don't think on paper our team is better. I don't think our team is better. I think the way that we're playing is
the team, the chemistry,
better. The actual
chemistry of our team,
team cohesion is streets clear. Yeah, because like Musiala walks into our team, Goretzka walks into our team, Kimmich walks into our team. That three, that
shocking this year. That's the only thing.
Yeah, that midfield three. I think the only conversation you'd have is that Rice. Well, I don't know. I don't know.
It's so bad this year.
But as a player, Goretzka is brilliant. You know, and then Zane and Gnabry on the wings. I'd have both of those over Saka. On whichever side you want to play, either of them. Kane over whichever striker we want. Defensively, then I think that's where we are better. You know, I think since Upamecano, they made the announcement midway through the season that he was leaving Leipzig to go to Bayern, he turned into shit.
Trash.
He was unbelievable. Him, Hulkenberg, not Hulkenberg, Klosterman, and Konate. That back three, unreal. And then Willie Orban came in and was like, "Yo, I'm the guy now." You know, Konate, when that announcement was made, Konate was like, "Thanks, Upamecano, for your time." Like, and then he literally got better and better and better. And he's gone to Liverpool, and injuries have mugged him off. But even when he's paying 70%, he is one of the best centre backs in the Premier League and one of the best centre backs in the world. Upamecano is not that guy. He's disappointing me.
Tuchel has to go with Kim. If he goes with Kim and De Ligt, that's going to be tough.
Eric Dyer. That's who you want. You want him.
I think they will play with Eric Dyer.
He'll have to do 5 at the back then if he does that. But he could do this. He could just look at it and go, "No, we're not going to play football. Like, let's just go 5 at the back and we'll wait for the counter." And he could just because it's too cool. This is what he does. And they've got that front three, Kane dropping into everywhere possible on the pitch. And the pace they've got on those wings is dangerous. And I think the matchup is not in our favour here with what Bayern can do. Because if you try that press against Musiala and he turns us, like Brian had glimpses of that with what's his name? The Ivorian kid. He's quality. Is Baleba or Adingra? I think it's Adingra.
Adingra, yeah.
When he turned, the players they've got who turn on the press, if they beat the press against us, then it was like 3-on-3 or 4-on-4 every single time. So it's like we have to be careful when we're doing that, because if Musiala turns us, it'll be 3-on-3 or 3-on-2 each and every time. But the problem is, I just don't think defensively they're good. But we have to win at the Emirates to go through at this time, and we have to win comfortably because Allianz is going to be the Arsenal Stadium. Yeah, exactly.
But then I think we have to win by 2. I think just say if we only win by 1,
1-0,
you know,
2-1.
if we are to win and we only win by 1, I don't not fancy us at Bayern. Bearing in mind, Bayern ain't got any fans tomorrow. Well, I've got no fans coming.
I don't know if that will affect them. To be fair, it might help them because their fans have been getting onto them.
Well, I think it'd be a benefit to us, and like if we can channel our ulterior motive, a bit like how we played against City, because we were really difficult to break down. Really, they might have had possession, but they didn't really offer a great deal. We didn't allow them to do it, and if we were a little bit more thoughtful with our attacking and our counter-attacking, we could have actually, we could have won that game. And I don't think we would have nicked it either. If we won it, I don't think it would have been a theft. I think it would have been really good tactical nous, and that is the type of performance that we might require when we go over to Germany. But I don't want to see that type of performance tomorrow. I want to see a professional performance, and our team cohesion has enough to beat them.
Yeah, across 2 legs is yeah, it's the Champions. Look, we can't do what we did against Porto. We can't rock up to the Champions. That's the other thing. That's the only other concern is us in Europe we're different than we are in the Premier League. We're not translating that form of performances into the Champions League just yet, which is fair because it's the first year, but that needs to be addressed tomorrow. Like, we can't play. If we play like how we did against Porto, tie is done tomorrow. I guarantee you that.
We shall see.
It's so bad.
Have faith. But in the chat, we've had E20 Zone join us. Good evening there. Ben, who was one of Charlotte's guests on the lower league pod a couple of weeks ago. There, I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining us. And Kevin came into the chat as well. And Spenny fan wants to tell us about the Udinese Inter Milan game. So we will.
Yep.
We shall wrap up. We shall wrap up what's been going on to the Premier League too. I'll get rid of this little logo at this. We can all see the joy of what's going on. This just special for you. I got rid of that chaps for Lucas and Gav, so they can see Arsenal sitting at the top of the league on goal difference, on a good goal difference. Like I was going to say, Liverpool and City's goal difference is a good goal difference. To be above that, that's a very good goal difference by Arsenal. Goal difference above plus 51, and so it's only goal difference separating Liverpool and Arsenal with 1 point then to Man City, but 10 points showing the field drop off down to Spurs with Aston Villa after a belter of a game. I think it was it the 3-3 draw?
Crazy game, yeah. Brentford scored 3 goals in like 15 minutes.
Aston Villa just don't want to win games at the moment.
They're so weird.
They just want to score and concede and make it an event. That's what Aston Villa want to do at the moment. But then Man United then down in 6. They can play well against Liverpool. They'll play dog trash against everybody else. So really appreciate that. Thank you very much, Manchester United. And then West Ham.
Sorry, just on the United thing, I think he's stupid. He's done it twice, taking Garnacho off. Because once he takes Garnacho off, it just changes the game.
Yeah, no outball. He does his in-game management is so bad.
It's really bad.
Ten Hag.
I'm fine. Sam's point that the goal difference is -1, so he's an elated Manchester United fan. Beside me, say the Sheffield United at the bottom with the real goal difference of -52.
Man, they're on course to concede. They're on course to concede 100 goals, aren't they?
Yeah,
18 goals in 7 games. They could concede.
100 swing between our goal difference and theirs.
That is mental. That is crazy.
I mean, they're in
100 goals, isn't it?
But they're done in 60. Then Burnley on 19 points, and then Luton Town on 25. This was yesterday's
Huge
table,
win. So
obviously I didn't update it when the points came in, because I did swap Everton and Brentford around. So now I think there's 2 points between Nottingham Forest and 17, and Everton will be on 27 because I can do maths that fast. So yeah, it makes it very tight for the 18th spot then, and we'll see. We shall see what happens. We're going to La Liga. There was no La Liga games that I could find.
It was Copa del Rey final. Yeah.
So there was no La Liga games.
Athletic Bilbao won their first trophy in 40 years.
There we go. So that is why Sam is on holiday there, and Gav updating us as to why. But and look at Sam's bod there. That is from real life. That was taken from. That is exactly as he looks. I've met Sam in the flesh. Trust me, that is spot on. You'd love it. Well worth the trip down to Southampton. That is. And but Lucas, tell us what's been going on in the Udinese Inter Milan game with one of the coolest goals I've seen
this season. I can't lie, because Inter have just ran away with it. But Udinese giving them a good game here. This is probably going to end the draw. But I mean, Napoli complete. I don't think I've seen that. Has there been a drop off this bad in any of the top 5 leagues from winning the league to the following season?
Manchester United.
Moyes. But even then, how many were they off? Were they 30 points off the title the next season? They might have been.
They're a long way. They finished 7th, didn't they?
Yeah, they might have been.
They had to make it. They had to make it like the big 6 to hope that Man United would be able to squeeze back in. Like, it's still top 4 then, weren't it? It's still the big 4.
Oh, so good. Roma Lazio was the big one this weekend, but Roma are just a bit dull since Mourinho is not there anymore. It's not as fun.
Well, Inter
definitely on.
Inter.
No way. I just jinxed it. Of course. Yeah, Inter are going to wrap this up very, very soon, and they deserve it. They've been the best team, and
they will now.
Bit unlucky against Atletico. I say, but I do like Atletico. It's really just a top 4 race, but I'd love Bologna to get in there. I mean, I love Bologna and Roma, De Rossi and Thiago Motta. both getting into the Champions League with their teams. But
at the current moment, the
they
top
get fifth,
five,
don't they?
yeah, they are getting the top
they're
five.
leading the coefficient.
Yeah, they're leading it.
What changes that? Is it who gets to the finals, isn't it, across Europe, right?
I think they've got an assailable lead as number one, which I don't understand, if I'm honest.
Do an English team have to win, like, let's say if Liverpool win the Europa League and City win the Champions League?
You know, I think what we're hoping is for Spurs to come fifth and them to need Arsenal to win the Champions League to
so it gives
to get the fifth spot. That is
work with Spurs. We have to work together.
No, it's more of a case of Spurs just like parading the streets of Seven Sisters Road, like tanking it down to Caledonian Road and being like, come on then.
But it's pretty much done. I think it's set the way it is at the moment. It's really just 4th or 5th, but if both of them get a Champions League spot, Atlanta aren't going to catch them. They had a good run a while ago, but that's really it. And Napoli are all over the place. So that table is going to look pretty much the same by the end of the season. I can't lie. Maybe at the bottom it might change. Sassuolo getting relegated would be crazy. But,
yeah. I just want Frosinone to go down because I hate them. I've still got beef with them for how they what the shenanigans that they played in the playoff final in 2018 against Palermo. So yeah, I hate Frosinone more than I hate Catania, which is mad. It's like an Arsenal fan hating Chelsea more than they hate Spurs. Right.
Yeah, a bit of love from Sean there. But
it's like Spurs winning. I can't wait until we can sit at that table. I actually can't wait. And people always ask me this, like, would you prefer the Premier League this season or the Champions League if you could only pick one?
Champions League.
It's really tough, but I have to just say, I know it's been 20 years, but the Champions League, I can't stand just not being in that.
But I'm going to set
that table.
Well, I'm going to set an even bigger challenge. An even bigger challenge than Arsenal in the Champions League is I'm going to ask Gav in 2 minutes. Could he give us the rundown of the Bundesliga? 2 minutes, Gav, because I got to go home.
You're not home? Where are you? Dirty stop out. What are you? I mentioned earlier on what was going on with Heidenheim. Heidenheim, they're having an amazing season with Frank, can't remember his last name now, the manager there at Heidenheim. He's been there since 2003 as a player and has stayed as a coach, got him up from like the 4th tier all the way up to the Bundesliga. First team to beat Bayern in like forever that have been newly promoted. So that is Bayern pretty much done. Leverkusen still unbeaten in 41 games in all competitions now. They've also made it to the Pokal final. They're playing against Kaiserslautern, who are about to get bombed out into the 3rd tier of Bundesliga, of German football as well, which is great. The bottom 4 all played against each other. So things are getting quite exciting down the bottom. Köln got a well needed win against Bochum, who are bottom, and Mainz absolutely battered Darmstadt. Darmstadt are going to be back down in the 2nd tier quickly than you can shake a stick at. And the other key game was just like the classic Jekyll and Hyde of Borussia Dortmund. Not just this season, but just in life. They're sometimes really good, sometimes they're really shit. That's the way it works. Sometimes good, sometimes shit. Girassi, who's had an unbelievable season, still not even anywhere near the top goal scorer, but he's scored 23 goals now in the Bundesliga, which is unreal. Considering that Stuttgart literally played in the playoff last season to survive playing Bundesliga football, and they are pretty much a shoe-in for Champions League football next year now, because they've got a 7-point gap on both Leipzig and on Dortmund as well. So yeah, Frank Schmidt, that's his name. I couldn't remember his last name. He put me on the spot, that's why. Leipzig, they are still knocking around there as well. They picked up an important victory as well. So yeah, there you go. That is a little wrap up of Bundesliga Fußball.
See, what about? I gave him no prep. I gave Gav no prep for that at all. Didn't even tell him that I was going to ask him to do that.
I know, you're not horrible, man.
That's what I was going to see with Pimp Daddy, mate. That's what Because I
Mac
knew you
Daddy.
could do it. I wouldn't have to worry. And I'll tell you what, Charlotte, do you want to give us a quick wrap down of the SPFL so you don't hurt yourself?
Yeah, of course. So first game, Dundee 2, Motherwell 3. A very good game full of goals. And Amado Bakayoko assist to Jordan McGee in the 36th minute put Dundee 1-0 up. Dundee thought they had the game sealed in the 70th minute when Luke McGowan doubled their lead. But, there is a but, Motherwell just weren't giving up. They were given a lifeline in the 79th minute when the referee awarded them a penalty, but unfortunately, Thelonious Blair missed. Defender George again did score, though. Thelonious Blair did redeem himself, though, 2 minutes later when he scored the equaliser for the away side. Moses Ibai saved the day for Motherwell in injury time with his late goal. Dundee are 6th with 39 points and Motherwell are 8th with 36. Hibs 1, St Johnstone's 2. A game that Hibs completely dominated, but it just wasn't enough. They found themselves a goal down in the 49th minute when Amadas, I think it's Sadiba, converted for the away side. Chris Cadden equalised shortly after for Hibs, but despite having more chances, it was Tony Gallagher that sealed the win for St Johnstone. What a win it was for them. Hibs are 7th with 38 points. St Johnstone are 10th with 31. Kilmarnock 1, Ross County 0. A 64th minute Kyle Vassell goal was enough for Kilmarnock to seal all 3 points. Kilmarnock are 4th on 48 points. Ross County 11th on 27. Livingston 0, Aberdeen 0. A pretty dull game, as the scoreline does say. But Bojan Miovski did score an 89th minute goal, but VAR chalked it off, for offside. Bear with me. Livingston are still the bottom on 18 points and Aberdeen are 9th on 34. St Mirren 1, Hearts 2. No goal again for big Lawrence Shankland, but it didn't feature. It didn't feature because he was poorly. That's why, obviously. George Grant converted a penalty for Hearts in the 33rd minute. St Mirren forward Mikhail Mandron scored an own goal to put the away side 2-0 up. 6 minutes after St Mirren did score, but it just wasn't enough for them. St Mirren are 5th and Hearts are still 3rd on 59 points. And now the big one.
and the big one in the Scottish Championship. Airdrie versus...
Rangers 3, Celtic 3. Hoops attacker Maeda gave the visitors a stunning lead after just 21 seconds, which really did rock the home side. A nervous Rangers side fell further behind in the 34th minute when midfielder Matt O'Reilly coolly converted a penalty after VAR did intervene. Rangers did improve though after the break, and captain James Tavernier, who we all recognise, we mention him every single week because he misses a penalty and then he scores a goal. But James Tavernier scored from the spot in the 55th minute before striker oh God, my chest. Dezers had the ball in the net 2 minutes later, only for an earlier infringement to rule out a goal. Substitute Abdallah Sima levelled in the 86th minute, but a minute later, Celtic substitute Adam Aidar drove in for what looked like a dramatic winner, only for Rangers replacement Rabbi Matondo to level in added time for a share of the points, which left Celtic 1 point ahead at the top. As I mentioned, they do lead by 1 at the top, but Rangers do have that all-important game in hand. Thank God.
Got Dundee, haven't they, on Wednesday? That's their game in hand, isn't it? It's big game. I can't. What points Dundee are on? Yeah, so because Dundee, even though it's a game in hand, they need to get a result here as well, because if they might miss out on the split, which is obviously big for the Scottish clubs there, because it gives them an opportunity to earn a few more quid and stuff, doesn't it? So, I don't think it's going to be an easy walkover game for Rangers. Plus, both Celtic and Rangers have dropped points in some really odd games this year. So, even though they've still got to play each other, which is at Parkhead, I still think it's going to go all the way.
It'd be interesting for the SPFL for the first time in a while. I mean, we're not going to spend a huge amount of time on the Eredivisie today, unfortunately. But I mean, the big news though that I've seen is Graham Potter has rejected the Ajax managerial role. Graham Potter is too big for Ajax, with all the success that he's had, and all the great things Graham Potter has done for a manager. He's too good for Ajax, which is.
And Joshy, that's Ajax's worst ever top flight defeat in their history.
It is, and it's. I mean, it's been a bad season. It's been a really weird season. I know they've gone for the Man United model of having a manager who's going to be there for a season to become a director at the end of the season, and as it did with Man United, it's gone really, really well. so well done on that front. I mean, the only other sort of big news, I'm sure it was this week. I'm just going to check myself. When did PSV lose?
Last weekend, wasn't it? Was it?
It must have been midweek, because I'm sure they were still unbeaten as of last week's show. So there must have been a midweek game that they've lost. I thought it was on the weekend. They've finally lost the game though. But look, I mean, we were talking about Arsenal's goal difference, 72 goal difference still from PSV, who smacked Axed 5-1, and just superb. PSV bossing it. All they're doing is scoring goals for days. And then over at League One, I mean, what we do here, Gav, we cut out PSG because they've made League One shit. They've spoiled football for everybody. And so I think that the table looks much better with Brest at the top on 53, Monaco 52, and Lyon 49, and Nice at 44. What an interesting league that would be.
Don't you think that is actually unbelievable though? Because Brest, they've never, I don't think they've ever played European football, have they? And the fact that Grime are still up there as well, like they can squeeze into a conference league position. Like this is good for the lesser clubs, like that
well, it's good to see, and this is what the French league should look like. This would be beautiful for French football. So thanks a lot. Sometimes breast at the top, foot at the bottom, basic anatomy. That's just how it was. It's Benning Fan told me the 30th of March. The teams whose name I could never say. Is it
Nijmegen? Yeah.
No, they beat PSG 3-1.
Nijmegen.
It's normally Sam is my go-to to know how to say words, but that is all of the leagues. That is football. We've completed football. I mean, just a very quick one. I mean, so I think it was Spenny Fan Quiz. I want to ask about the Turkish Super Cup. I don't know what happened there. Is anyone able to give us a 30-second
little bit? Yeah, there was a little bit of drama that happened off the field. Like the game was meant to happen in Dubai, and I think the teams kicked off about it. But then I heard that it was all something to do with the scrap that happened a couple of weeks ago, where all the fans stormed the pitch. So in protest, Trabzonspor were like, do you know what, screw it, put the kids out. So they put the kids out, started the game. Galatasaray had their full strength team because they treated it with respect. Icardi scored inside about a minute. I think it was 58 seconds or something like that to make it 1-0. They sort of slow trudge back to the centre spot to restart play, and he just hauled the players off. The gaffer from Trabzonspor. So to entertain the fans, the Galatasaray, they put their kids on. They just played a reserve game effectively and just entertain the fans. It goes down as a 1-0 win. Galatasaray against their fiercest rivals have won the Turkish Super Cup.
Oh, there we go. So he could do it. He could give you anything within a set period of time. You just give Gav them parameters, and he's on it like Sonic. That's what we need. I mean, I thank everybody for joining us this evening. I mean, a special thanks to you, Gav. The chat enjoyed it. Look at that, Sean. Sean wants a bit of Gav every Monday. If he get, I don't think he can handle it. I don't think
every Monday you get bored of my voice.
I'm man enough to have a bit of Gav in my life every Monday. I just can't take it. It's too good for me. But I do appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. I mean, Gav has dropped in very, very last minute. So I do appreciate you coming in and joining us, helping us out this evening, Gav.
No problem at all. Thanks for having me, man.
People want to find you. Where can they find you?
Just at GavMat23. I've not been doing any pods this year. I've been taking time out to focus on myself, on my mental, and just be, just look after number one this year. So Only on Twitter, chatting shit, really. At GavMat23. I'll put some ref stuff. I'll put some dart stuff. I'll put a hell of a lot of NFL stuff and the odd music. And calling out all the far right wankers as well. That's what I do. The 5 key things that I do on Twitter.
And it's a healthy diet for Twitter. If I come back, and Lucas, people obviously want a bit of you. Where can they find you, sir?
Crab Dribble on Twitch and TikTok and Twitter as well. But I'll be streaming this week, and then I'm off for like a good 7-8 days. So I'll be a bit quiet next week.
Oh, he's going on the strangest lads holiday to Canada.
One way of putting it, yeah.
The beers will be flowing in the snow. Little tip: don't eat yellow snow. And people are going to want to know where you are. Obviously, where can they find you? Not at home, obviously, social media wise.
Apart from coughing in the corner like I've been today, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. I'm SharXRAFC. My Her Game 2 store for is Rochdale HGT on all of them socials. And of course, on Thursday evening on Absolutely Lower League.
And of course, I mean, I haven't got Sam's updated socials because I'm just not.
I want one of them.
You got to be in it to win it.
How many stamps do I need to collect in order to get myself one of those? It's only the third appearance I've had. Is it second, third?
Charlotte's got a criteria. We'll let you know afterwards. You got to meet Charlotte.
You have to come on my show. You have to come on my show as well.
I'll talk non-league. I'm a non-league ref.
Let's do it. Let's organise it.
But please do follow the podcast. We had Absolute Ball Pod on Twitter, Absolute Football Podcast on YouTube and Twitch, and on the tickety boom, we are at Absolute Football Pod, Absolute Football Podcast _ on Instagram and Threads, and the Absolute Football Podcast on Facebook. Mondays the Premier League show at 8:30, Wednesdays at 8:30. Please join the team for absolutely WSL and the Women's Championship, and the team doing an absolutely fantastic job there. Really entertaining. Really educational show every Wednesday. It's great fun to watch, and of course the Rowdy Rabble, Charlotte's mad clap
which
gang,
isn't educational.
The award winners. The award winners. This is 8:30. Please make sure that you join us. And if you are watching on or if you're listening on any audio platforms, please do give us 5 stars, follow, and all that jazz. And if you are on YouTube, please subscribe, because every time you subscribe, an angel gets its wings, which is such a beautiful thing to see. And I want to thank everybody for joining us. Hope you all have a pleasant evening, and TTFN and Tata for now.